What's up, boys? So Banshee 11 with champion Zerato. He's so good. He's so good right now. And we've got Angelic, Montmorancy, and Seaside, Bellona just to increase the safety of the run. We got that fodder going on for that free EXP. So let's put this thing on auto. So I can do it solo with champion Zerato, but I mean the success rate is nothing crazy. And even as a free-to-play player, I mean, I'm not gonna be running a bunch of failed runs, but I'm sure that if I do tweak his stats even further, I could increase the success rate, of course. I mean, I'll be showing my stats at the end of the video, and it does speed up the run to, to have him with some other heroes. And to be honest, like, one fodder versus two fodders or three fodders, the difference is not insane. We're talking about 250% experience being received on one fodder solo versus 300% experience if you're using two fodders. And yeah, 250 or 300% or 350% if you're using three different three fodders plus like a solo hero champion Zerato in this case. So I mean, to me, experience is not that big of a deal. I mean, you can get easy experience, you know, if you're using just if you're bringing one fodder in any of your hunts, right? And you can get experience as well, of course. Adventure on recorded history, that is pretty basic stuff. Even the spirit altars, very easy experience there. But when you're done with grinding your runes, when there's no double rune drop rate, then you're not gonna be, I mean, running that place much beside one time per day. And then you want to complete that that guild, you know, to get that reward to do 10 spirit altars in 1 week. So that's gonna be pretty much it for that. But getting experience, I mean, you just in adventure you have one hero that is solo with a friend. You could have a you know, a farmer, your own farmer plus a friend farmer to speed things up if you want, plus you know, fodders. So there's multiple ways to go about it, but experience to me is not that big of a deal. So as long as you can bring one fodder, I mean, bringing two or three, it's kind of pushing it. What is hard to obtain in this game is fodders. I mean, getting the actual fodders, that is the bottleneck. That's where you're gonna be, I mean, to me, that's the moment, the time where I need to just grind it out. You know, I'm doing 2 energy stages in normal adventure. It's 3-1 in zone 2S, and that place you kill 3 boss slimes, and you're gonna get 1 fodder per run on average, on top of getting friendship points, which you can summon even more fodders. So that's where I just go there and manual my runs, and I get fodders like crazy. It's actually really quick and super efficient. That's the most efficient way to obtain your fodders, by the way, if you didn't know. But that's really the bottleneck. The experience, it's not an issue. So increase your safety, increase your clear speed. This all helps. The thing is, of course, as a free-to-play player, you know, if you do have the time, trying to squeeze that extra bit of experience in your solo hunts with, I mean, 3 fodders, of course, you can be more efficient that way, but how much time will you dedicate to actually playing the game? To me, like, just bringing 1 fodder in here and just spending more time, that gives me more time to actually grind out, you know, those 2 energy stages. There's also stage 1-5 in a normal adventure, Tyrell Castle, that actually drops, it's about the same deal, you know, 1 fodder per run. So here's the breakdown for this run. You see the contribution from Seaside Bellona is actually quite high, increasing the defense, debuff, uptime, and of course this happens, so let me come back to you guys. Okay, let's continue with the run. Even with this team, to be honest, like, it is failing sometimes, but I'd say the success rate is, if I am 100% honest with you guys, it might be 80%. It may be 80% success rate, like, yeah. I wouldn't say 90. So far, from what I've seen, it is failing sometimes. But I mean, of course, the survival on my Angelic Montmorancy is not that amazing. It's just she's got like a really high effect resistance. She is built for PvP, so keep that in mind, guys. She's not built for PvE. So I mean, in PvE, you can just have her with barely any effect resistance. She's gonna be able to just take care of business. But of course, you need her to be fast. Seaside Bellona, she doesn't need speed. Like, I have her built for just cleaving as hard as possible from the AoE counter attacks. So a lot of attack is on her, you know, barely any speed at all. So that's the way I prefer her to be built for PvP. And she's got some okay survival. Also, Champion Zerato's in the front line. So, I mean, damage that she's taking is being redirected onto him, 30% of it, so you have to keep that in mind. So there are some situations where the wipe is actually Angelic Montmorancy by herself. So maybe the case of the effect resistance that is high on her and her survival not that high, it doesn't even apply here. But I mean, I guess I could have more speed on her and less effect resistance because yeah, I wouldn't be hunting for such high effect resistance. I would have more speed and a bit more survival. So there's that. And Champion Zerato, like I said, you can increase his survival. This will help. If the survival of Angelic Montmorancy was higher, what I could do is actually put her in the front line. And the reason why I have Champion Zerato is because he actually have some self-sustain. So I figured, like, might as well have him in the front line since he has some sustain and most of the time he's at full HP. So I went with that route. But I should probably swap his position with Angelic. Maybe I can do a quick other run after that one and compare the result. So yeah, Seaside, there's some runs where it's Angelic Montmorancy and Champion Zerato finishing the run. Seaside died at some point. It's definitely like the fact that if you have a hero that drops, look at her HP, it's getting pretty low. But both split phase happened. So yeah, when she does attack and the hero is at low HP, she will attack again, stacking more debuffs, and that's where, I mean, it does get risky. And you see that debuff on her right now. I mean, that thing, to be honest, I don't even know exactly what it does. I think, like, when it actually ticks, the hero just straight up dies. That's like death. I could check the debuffs in here, but from what I know, that's what it is. Yeah, anyways, you don't want that thing to tick on you. You're just gonna die. Champion Zerato, can he transfer that thing? I have not been paying attention enough during my runs to actually remember. But let me swap positions on this. We'll see how it goes. And here's my memory imprints. You know, Seaside, she's actually giving a bit of HP, so that's cool. And yeah, let's go in there again. So it might be more successful by having it this way. But to be honest, like, you don't need this team composition. Just Champion Zerato can solo it, right? But it's not going to be 100% success rate because of that debuff. That debuff, yeah, it's going to kill him. That's the thing. If he can't transfer it or something of the sort, because I think he cannot, that's the thing. I think he cannot transfer that debuff. That's why when on the runs that she applies it on him, then he dies and that's the end of it. So yeah, that's it. So you could have him in a dual setup with the, you know, a healer. You know, Angelic Montmorancy is definitely one of the better healer, but the thing is, she actually applies debuff immunity. So on a dual setup might not be the best team comp, because I mean, if she has higher survival and Champion Zerato is going to be at lower HP threshold most of the time, she's going to be using S3 on him, and you don't want that to happen, because the whole point is to have him receive debuffs so he can actually counter and apply those you know, those dots, those poison debuffs onto the Banshee Queen. That's how you're dealing a lot of your damage too, because she does have quite a bit of HP and it deals 5% of her health in damage. So that's actually very important that he does that. He does have defense down, he has attack break, but to be honest, like, when I was skilling him up, he's actually plus 15 now, but what's important is skill 2 to have 100% chance to counter, and then it's like increase the damage of skill 1 by just skilling it up. And then, yeah, skill 3, you can bring it to plus 3 to get the -1 turn cooldown, but maxing that thing should be your, yeah, the last thing you should do, unless you're going to be using him in PvP a lot and you are relying on that skill 3 burst damage or something of the sort. But yeah, Champion Zerato is crazy now. He can solo Asmanic Hunt as well. I don't have Ila's Violin, the mage artifact that can dispel 100% chance whenever they attack the boss if it doesn't get resisted. That artifact, I don't have it. It's on the Europe server, so it didn't show up yet. So we're gonna have to wait for the event to actually happen again here for the first time. But yeah, you could pair him with any Soul Weaver, or even like, since he can do fine, you could even bring 2 damage dealers in here and sort of like speed up the early run, you know, cleave the first wave sort of deal. There's multiple ways to go about it. You could have like buffers and stuff like that. And even if they die, that's fine. They did help you to speed up the run early on. But yeah, that's the drawback with Angelic Montmorancy. So if you're going for a duo setup, I wouldn't recommend her with Champion Zerato, just because of the fact that she's going to be applying, you know, debuff immunity. Then that's going to mess up the whole thing up. So yeah. Now I'll be showing my gear right after this run, guys. And I mean, the gear is nothing insane. I'm using the Abyss lifesteal set, so I would say that, well, unless it rolled like very poorly, then you're gonna have to farm some Banshee with a normal group composition. But the cool thing is that Champion Zerato, you can just build a team around him, or he can just solo the boss if, well, that's the thing. If you don't have the lifesteal set, that's going to be an issue. I have the chatty artifact, so if you don't have it from the event, the Halloween event, then that's going to be something that, yeah, maybe your success rate will not be as high, because that barrier, it's not triggering much or at all right now, because I'm supporting him with you know, some other heroes. So I would say that if you don't have it, of course you can use some other artifacts, but your success rate might not be so good. So yeah, let me show you the gear right now. I mean, maybe your lifesteal set did roll with higher survival. In that case, I mean, it might be better. Let me just jump onto him now. You know, that's the thing. Maybe your survival is better, so it's not that big of a deal. But the crit chance, my crit chance is only at 81%. The reason why is because I didn't want to go with a crit chance necklace when there's a bunch of crit chance on the Abyss lifesteal set. You know what I mean? I mean, that's the reason. There would be too much stat loss. It wouldn't be efficient. So I decided to just like go with it. And the fact that I'm not at 100% crit chance, it is reducing my success rate if I was to solo that place. So yeah, that's my skill ups. He's at plus 15, and memory imprint. I mean, you could just have the self memory imprint to increase his effectiveness this way. 23%. If you max that thing out, it's not bad. But all you really need is 55% effectiveness for PvE, and you don't want speed on him. It's all about like a bunch of attack and survival and the effectiveness and the crit and crit damage. So try to get 100% crit chance, but don't sacrifice a bunch of crit damage if you can get 100% crit chance, especially if you're going to be teaming him up with other heroes. So definitely this thing does help him to survive, you know, when he's solo. Even in a team, I didn't pay attention enough to see if it was actually triggering. But yeah, I mean, there's other options you could go with. I could show you guys the other options, but any mage artifact, to be honest, could actually work on him. So there's that. If you want to apply more debuffs, you could go with Siren. Abyssal Crown is gonna stun the ads. He's attacking 2 heroes at the same time, so it might work. So yeah, Daydream Joker could also work as well. It's gonna increase his lifesteal damage. Where is Angelic? So of course this is it's all maxed out. Stigmas to skill her up, very easy. Her survival is actually not so bad. The speed could definitely be much higher if I was focusing on that, but it's about the effect resistance for me for PvP. Yeah, so Rod, of course, is helping her heal for more, better output for the healing. So for other options that you could go with, you know, here, mages. Even when you kill, if you do land a kill, it's gonna lower your skill cooldown and increase the damage of your next attack. So that's definitely a viable one during the ad phase. But if you're about killing the Banshee ASAP, because the ads are actually quite easy to deal with, so I would say that, yeah, I would say Chatty for survival comes first, or if you want... yeah, Time Matter is actually pretty decent there. Ila's Violent for Azimanak, and more debuffs with this thing. And the other object, Kaladra, of course, there's going to be a debuff most of the time on the boss or the ads, whatever. So this will increase your damage output. And there's Daydream Joker, of course. So yeah, so that's going to be it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching. I'm Astranox. Like, comment, and subscribe for more. Press the bell icon to like to be notified whenever I release a new video, and check out my other videos. It should be showing up on the screen now. Playlist of all sorts, Arena, Guild Wars, guides, tips, and how-tos, and Abyss 462+. So check those out if you haven't. And also join my Discord server. We have over 700 members now. So come join the fun, and good luck with all you do. Peace out for now.